Coming up on DITV, President Trump gives his State of the Union address. We'll tell you what you might have missed.
Members of Congress, the state of our union is strong.
And later, we break down student government's progress report.
Even though we all know it's not baseball weather right now, we hear about the upcoming season. Stay tuned for more in sports.
We have wintry weather coming your way. I'll tell you more in weather.
All that and more is coming up on this Wednesday, February 6th edition of DITV.
Don't go anywhere. It all starts right now.
Good morning and thank you for tuning in. I'm Kaylin Cluck.
And I'm Becca Scadden. Last night, President Donald Trump gave his annual State of the Union address. Originally scheduled for last week, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi did not allow Trump to give the speech because of the government shutdown. President Trump spoke on several topics, including his proposed wall for the Mexican border.
Republicans and Democrats must join forces again to confront an urgent national crisis. Congress has 10 days left to pass a bill that will fund our government, protect our homeland, and secure our very dangerous southern border. Now is the time for Congress to show the world that America is committed to ending illegal immigration and putting the ruthless coyotes, cartels, drug dealers, and human traffickers out of business. This is a moral issue. The lawless state of our southern border is a threat to the safety, security, and financial well-being of all America.
With the idea of unity being one of Trump's key points, the president spoke extensively on the topic, which in some ways relates to Congress's torn decision, which caused the longest government shutdown in history.
We must reject the politics of revenge, resistance, and retribution, and embrace the boundless potential of cooperation, compromise, and the common good. Together, we can break decades of political stalemate. We can bridge old divisions, heal old wounds, build new coalitions, forge new solutions, and unlock the extraordinary promise of America's future. The decision is ours to make.
The government is currently open until next week when Congress will discuss border wall funding once again. If a deal is not met, it's possible there will be another government shutdown.
The University of Iowa Campaign Organized Students Membership, also known as COGS, voted in favor of the Board of Regents. They negotiated the contract last night. The contract entailed an annual 2.1% pay increase and the reinstatement of 2 articles. Contract negotiations were initiated by COGS at a public event forum in late 2018, with COGS initially requesting a 5% pay raise and the renewal of almost 20 articles. The Regents proposed their counteroffer only 2 weeks later and continued to negotiate until earlier this year. 94% of the COGS active members voted in favor of the final offer. For more on this story, you can visit dailyiowan.com.
The University of Iowa student government recently came out with their progress report for the fall 2018 semester. For more on the report, we have DITV News reporter Noah Gowdy in the newsroom. Good morning, Noah.
Good morning, guys. DITV was able to sit down and speak with a member of UISG to get a more in-depth look at their progress report. Kyle Scheer, the UISG cabinet director, gave his opinion on what he thought were the biggest accomplishments of the fall 2018 semester.
Civic engagement efforts, which was focused on voter registration and giving students an opportunity to meet their legislators. Reformed our election code to address some of the inequities that had existed in the past to make it more accessible for people to be a part of UISG in the future. Our health and safety initiatives, where we created things like SAD lamps for students who suffer from seasonal affective disorder, and some of our various advocacy efforts.
Shearer was also able to shed some light on another UISG accomplishment, which really gives students more access to interacting with their student representatives here on campus.
We now have all of our Senate meetings on Tuesdays live streamed on Facebook. We also recently created the public comment period. So if you go to our website, under the Senate meetings tab, you can see how you can submit a public comment for our meeting so student representatives can hear your thoughts on the legislation and work that we're doing.
Finally, Shearer was able to speak on what he is most excited about for this current spring semester.
Our efforts to create a hammock park on campus, so there's more spaces for students to use hammocks. We're working with ITS to create a website for students to submit ideas and petitions about what they want to see changed on campus.
For a more in-depth look at the progress report, you can pick up a copy of the Daily Iowan. This is Noah Gowdy in the newsroom. Guys, back to you at the desk.
Well, Becca, it's still not super warm out, but after last week's Arctic conditions, I feel like I can handle anything.
Absolutely, Caitlin. Once you feel temperatures around -50, anything starts to feel better than that. So fingers crossed, Jacob has some good news for us, but we're going to toss over to him in the weather studio for more.
Well, unfortunately, sorry guys, we have some pretty bad weather coming in. We're expecting a little bit of snow and some freezing rain. If you look behind me, these are our snowfall estimates for the next 48 hours. Now we're going to be seeing some snowfall in the southeastern portion of Iowa. For the most part, towns and cities up in the central northern area of Iowa, like Mason City, are going to be experiencing a lot of heavy snow in their area. Estimates could be around 6 to 8 inches. And if you can see there's pretty much nothing going to be down here in this lower section for snow. But that's not what you need to be worried about. What you need to be worried about is the freezing rain we have coming in. If you look over here, Iowa City is just on the verge of being in the ice storm warning area, which means we're going to have a lot of rain and snow kind of mixing in, and with the mid 32 degree temperatures, that snow is going to possibly freeze as it reaches the ground. So we have a high potential of a lot of slick roads. But let's move on to your local area. In the morning, we're going to have first, as you can see, icy area in the Iowa City, and then rain down here, and then snow up in the north. It's going to just be a huge mess, guys. But go into your local forecast, high of 37 with cloudy skies. We're going to stay above freezing for most of the day, which means any precipitation coming down, as I said before, in the afternoon will be rain or some wintry mix. Expect slick roads and high and hilly streets be very difficult to go up on your way home or to work. Now, look into the evening, into your night. Lows won't fluctuate too much, bottoming out around 30 degrees. That chance of rain is going to stick around overnight and make your commute to work very stressful. Now, moving on to your extended forecast. We're looking at a high of around 30 degrees. Now, that freezing rain that's going to be coming in Wednesday night, it's going to stick around and pretty much be coming down throughout your Thursday morning and your Thursday afternoon. We're expecting it to drop down to the negative degrees, around negative 1 degrees on your Thursday night. Moving into Friday, that precipitation is pretty much going to dissipate, and we'll get partly cloudy skies with a high of 11 and a low of -1. Looking at your Saturday, high of 26 and a low of 17. It's going to warm up a little bit, but unfortunately, we got another round of snow coming at you in the morning on Sunday. Expecting about a 70% chance with temperatures below freezing. It's most likely going to be snow, so good for us. And then moving into your Monday, we're going to expect temperatures right above freezing, but there shouldn't be any precipitation in the area, so good for you. They might be done for a bit, but of course, it's going to probably come back with the next couple of days. That's all I have for you guys. Back to you at the desk.
A white privilege workshop meant to be held in late February has been canceled by the University of Iowa due to concerns from the university stakeholders. Backlash from lawmakers and news sources led university stakeholders to reevaluate the content of the workshop. The university has hosted similar events in the past and were developed for faculty and staff members to discuss various ways to support inclusivity. Other colleges in Iowa have hosted events similar to this workshop, including Drake University. UI spokesperson Janine Beck says the workshops were canceled in an effort to give the university time to meet with stakeholders and address their concerns.
While ordering food is a popular trend for students, the food delivery service Chomp is looking to make it more affordable. The emphasis is on supporting local businesses. Chomp co-founder Adam Weeks said, quote, "It's best to keep it local, keep it to what we know." He then went on to add that we now have this small additional platform where businesses and customers can both benefit, end quote. The new coupon service, Explore the Corridor, launched last month. It allows residents to get deals on food and drinks, as well as other amenities such as entertainment and lodging. Chomp is currently looking into now how to expand the business and to benefit the community.
Well, Caitlin, as Jacob foreshadowed for us, it's not going to be feeling like spring anytime soon, but we do have some spring sports coming up.
Yeah, exactly, and that includes baseball, and Declan is in the sports studio to give us an update. Declan?
Yeah, thanks, guys. Yesterday, we heard from the baseball team for the first time this year, and although there are a lot of questions for this season, we do have some answers.
I think it's one of the most talented teams we've had in my time here. It's like through and through the lineup, you know. There's going to be guys that are sitting on the bench that could easily play for us or start for any other team. And that's just kind of the situation we're in right now, which is a great situation to have. You know, it makes Coach Heller's job a lot harder, you know, trying to figure out a lineup.
Some pretty big losses the last couple of years. On the offensive side, a lot of new faces, a lot of guys that are going to have to step up that are coming back. But I feel like, you know, with this team from, you know, the leadoff hitter to the 9-hole, we've got a really solid group. I don't know that there's a guy that's going to hit 15 or 20 home runs in that group, but I think we have a much more consistent lineup than even what we had last season from top to bottom.
You know, I think we're ahead of where we were last year. I think that this team has the ability to do something really, really special this year.
Baseball will open up their season in a few weeks in Florida. Now, I know my boss Lucy is watching, so I'd just like to put it out there that I'm definitely willing to take a spot and travel down to Florida to cover those games. Just think about it, Lucy. Well, in other news, the women's gymnastics team introduced some new faces to the mat this season. DITV sports reporter Kimberly Bates has the story.
For some teams, seeing 7 new faces on the roster might not seem like much. But for the Gym Hawks, these freshmen are an extraordinary addition to Larissa Libby's team.
Honestly, they're everything. They are the neatest bunch of kids we've had in a long time. They're a really great group. They're all so very different, but great together.
But there is something about their differences that makes them work so well together, like a team of their own.
They're all in the dorm, so they have this unit. They're practically, I mean, a lot of them, right? So they're practically their own team.
And for freshmen Bridget Killian and Jax Kranitz, they couldn't have asked to be a part of a better freshman class.
Honestly, it's amazing. I think we have such a good freshman class, and I know Larissa was saying we're all really different, but we all really click together, and I love them all. They're amazing.
We complement each other, like our strengths, and we build each other up to just make the team that much stronger.
So for me, they're everything. They're the inspiration, the power, the energy.
Reporting from Carver Hawkeye Arena, this has been Kimberly Bates with DI TV Sports.
The Gym Hawks will be back in Carver Hawkeye Arena on February 16th when they take on Illinois. Well, one player on the Iowa basketball team has a unique path to putting on that black and gold jersey. I sat down with former manager and now point guard Nico Hobbs to discuss his journey.
I started as a manager, and I was here every day. Like, I'd rebound for the guys. Like, on game days, I'd set up the jerseys, like whatever it was I needed to do. And then around like the tail end of the season last year, he said that he wanted to carry, I think it was 16 guys on the roster, and that he wanted to add me to it. I just hope that by the time I graduate in 2 years, I can look back and just say that, like, I look at this opportunity overall as just a blessing. Like, I don't feel like I was owed anything. Like, even coming out of high school, I knew that just having the opportunity would do it. So I just hope that I can look back on it and say, like, I gave it my best shot, and just a whole bunch of good memories with my friends.
That's all I got in sports. Guys at the desk, back to you.
That's all we have on this morning's edition of DITV. Thanks for watching. I'm Becca Scadden.
And I'm Kaylin Cluck. Have a great day, Iowa City.